Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? Well, we hope everything with you is copacetic. We hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful month. Also, we'd like for you to continue to support us. You know, we're trying to reach that 2,000. Please help us. We're almost there. And with your help, we can get there like we would like to have it by the first of the year.
Yes.
That's what we would like to have, right?
Yes.
Baby Crone, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes, I would just love to say that as this end of the year is wrapping up, we would just like to wish you guys a happy winter solstice.
Do you want to do it?
Yes, I do.
Let's go. We wish you a happy winter solstice. We wish you a happy winter solstice. We wish you a happy winter solstice and a whole brand new year. We wish you that. Thank you for supporting us. Mwah. Peace and season's greetings.
Yes.
Sunflowers.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to do my reading on Hailey Bieber. If you have not, please go check out Mama Crone's reading on Justin Bieber. It was definitely a very good reading, honestly. It was so good that I can't wait to do a reading on Hailey Bieber. I was already curious to read on her, but after Justin Bieber's reading, I am curious to now see how it is on the other side for Hailey Bieber. She recently had a child. Well, recently is almost an understatement. Within the last 6 months, she has had a newborn. And because of that, I'm very happy for them. Actually, let's see, when did Hailey Bieber have her baby? Hailey Bieber. So she's had her baby 4 months ago. So the baby is 4 months. Mrs. Hailey Bieber, interesting enough, this article I'm reading, Hailey Bieber debuts massive birthstone ring for her and baby Jack Blue's 4 months. Oh, so cute. Anyway, so with that being said, it seems like just based off of that article I just read, it seems like it is copacetic going on over there, but we'll see how the cards will see, because I'm honestly curious. How is she adjusting to having a newborn? Justin Bieber is getting ready to go on tour. So that's going to be another adjustment that she's going to have to get to. So I'm just very curious. And I think just recently she has done a makeup. Was it like a makeup launch? Yeah, so she has recently released a beauty line, or maybe add some new products to her beauty line within the last few years. Within the last few months, I mean. So because of that, she's being, actually, weirdly enough, she was probably doing that all while she was pregnant too. So because of that, I'm very curious to see how is she adjusting. Is she taking a break from being in the work world? Did she do all her work, get all her business out there, so that way once she was born, she could take that maternity leave or longer? You know how celebrities do. They can really take maternity leave indefinitely, honestly. But I'm just curious. How is Hailey? What's going on with Hailey? Hailey. What's going on with you? Oh my. Okay. What is going on with you, Hailey? What's going on with your mental? What's going on with your health? What's going on with you and the beef? How's you and your hubby? How's you and your baby? Just how's married life? Okay. For real, let me get serious. I'm over here joking with the cards. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I like this. Okay. I like it. It looks interesting so far. Okay, so what do I see? Well, first off, I see right now in her yeah, you pretty much. I'm talking to my cards over here. Um, well, okay, so I think the best place to start is in her present moment. And then I think we're going to take a step back. So in her present moment, right above her head, I see the clover, which symbolizes a lucky opportunity. But that's in her thoughts. But weirdly, her thoughts is underneath her. So I'm not sure if that means she's like ironically drowning in her thoughts, or she's mastered her thoughts, because her thoughts are beneath her, but in her thoughts she's got lucky thoughts. But if her thoughts are underneath her, has she, you see what I mean? It's like a loop de loop here. It's interesting. I think I might just have to, I'll just use the bottom card as a problem. How ironic. Talking about a loop de loop, we have a bridge. And honestly, what does that symbolize? Well, to give the best description to this loop de loop in her present moment, I guess I'm honestly going to have to say, like I said, we're going to have to start in her past, because her present moment is bridging her past and her future together. So we're going to have to go. So that's why it's like looping back on itself. It's like, to understand how she's doing right now, we're going to have to look back at her past, because her past is influencing her present, but also at the same time, her present is her ever evolving future, and her future is currently evolving on her present, that's currently evolving on the past, which is currently happening right now, but right now is currently the future in a sense. So because of that, we're just going to have to pick a spot in on this infinity loop de loop, and let's start in the past. So what do I see? We have the concern, and that concern I could only have in her thoughts, ironically, is about her partner, her significant other, Justin Bieber, because what other concerns and thoughts that she would have at that time? Because he was going through some health problems. She was pregnant then also at the same time. But we have in the past, there was the community, and the community represents the public, the audience, us, any her fan base, and she had a concern for that. Maybe it was because it seemed like people were against her, or they weren't supporting her during her time of love, when she was loving Justin Bieber. And finally, you know how hard it was in their past, looking back at the anchor, looking further back in the past, honestly, you know how hard it was for her to kind of stabilize Justin Bieber. I mean, they've been married for a while now, but stabilized in the sense that their marriage was looking rocky. There was some divorce rumors on there. There was a time Hailey Bieber mysteriously lost the wedding ring, engagement ring. There was a time when Hailey Bieber was chasing after Justin Bieber and fell down. There were times where Justin Bieber just happily, conveniently looked like he just wasn't feeling his wife like that, and slamming doors and just and just walking out like come on now. Those weren't rocky. Those weren't good times. Those were very questionable times. And because of that, the community, the audience, the people, that us onlookers, we were judging that. And then she gets pregnant. And all of that. And people are looking like, Hailey, why? I mean, there were people that enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. I mean, it's a newborn baby. It's life being brought onto this earth. Of course, we over here at News with Tarot was down for that. We loved that, wanted that for that relationship. Mama Crone even said that that's honestly what Hailey Bieber needed, because she was, to settle her down, calm her down. She just wanted a baby, and she finally got that. So because of that, that's when she finally had to, at that time there was a critique, fine-tooth comb on them. Everybody was putting a magnifying glass on them the rocks, the unsteadiness in their relationships, the hard times that they fell on was being on full display. And because of that, it was a bittersweet. And you know what? What did they do in this harvest? And what did they decide to do? They decided to plant a baby in all of this. And now that the baby is out, it is time to harvest and reap the benefits of the new baby born. And here we are 4 months later, but we're still kind of in the past. Like, we're still looking in the past here because we have concern. And the fine tooth comb that the public and the general audience had for her was honestly just weighing on her mental. She's just like, guys, it kind of just almost felt like she just couldn't live. Everybody was just critiquing her, and she's friends with Kylie Jenner too. On top of that, she's friends with the Jenners, and then she was labeled the mean girl, her and Kendall Jenner. So it's hard. Once you get the mean girl label, it's kind of hard for people to kind of look at you differently. But when you get a baby and you get pregnant and you get the pregnancy glow and you look so happy, people do tend to look the other way because it's the pregnancy glow. Who doesn't want to be happy for somebody pregnant other than somebody that's like miserable? But there are times where you have to be questioned. You want to question the situation that a baby might be brought up in, but just to be sad or have some dismay about just life being brought on earth, who just wouldn't want to celebrate that. So because of that, all of that, the audience, it was weighing down on her marriage. She had so much love for Justin Bieber. She wanted to enjoy their marriage. She wanted to enjoy their she wanted to enjoy being a wife, being a mom, being a parent, having the family unit. It's her first child. It's their first child, getting to share that moment together with each other and to be there. He wanted to be there. He's definitely a show up parent for sure. That baby was brought in love. They definitely loved each other, regardless of what it looked like in the past and how rocky their relationship looked. They loved each other. They made that baby in love. But the concern here was that was weighing down on her is what everybody had to say. It was all the negativity that people had to feel. And then on top of that, let's not forget, it was all not hunky-dory because then the whole Diddy allegations came out. And then she had to deal with that too on top of Justin Bieber's mental. So, but she was there for him. She was just like, you know what? Who cares about the outside world, Justin? Let's come together on what we've created. Let's focus on our family. Let's just focus on our love. And that's how it was in their past. It was kind of tumultuous, but they were working on it behind the scenes. And they did kind of go out the media. It was like once Hailey Bieber was pregnant, she was out of the media and nobody was really talking about her or was bothering her. She was just enjoying pregnancyhood, motherhood, as she should. And she still is, as she should. But that brings us now to our present moments where her thoughts is all, I don't want to say jumbled up, but her thoughts are still weighed down. But she's able to see some clarity in all of this. She's able to see, hey, a gift. What is this gift in the future? Hey, Justin, go on tour. I think you're ready. I think it's time. We've cultivated our love. Our love is on the foundation. I know you are in my thoughts and I'm in your thoughts. Whatever could have tore us apart in the past, I now know with this lucky leaf clover, it's almost like Jupiter. It's like a fresh start. We rejuvenated. We've revived. It's time to now move forward. We've had this baby. It's like a reset in our marriage. I'm actually surprised, honestly. Just like I was surprised with Justin Bieber's relationship, That's why I said I couldn't wait to see to read about Hailey Bieber's relationship. It echoes Justin Bieber's reading just about. She is so supportive, and she is actually even encouraging him to go on tour. It's a gift. It's an opportunity. Why? Because it's about time. Because it's weird that the time is in the future. That means that this gift that's waiting in the future, will she take it? Will she? Is she? She's this gift hasn't materialized. It has to materialize. It's going to take some time for this gift to materialize because it's up in her thoughts, and because it's in the thoughts, it's like air. It's not earth. It's not fully tangible yet. It's still something that's, just throwing out there, tossing and turning. Yes, no, should I? But with time, bridging it with time, now they've taken, kind of their little sabbatical out of the media. It's like inching their way back into the media. She's showing motherhood. She's showing that she has definitely moved on, that she is a bit more calm. Is she still a mean girl? I definitely don't see any cards about anything about being negative. However, at the bottom, we do see a snake card. However, I have to question if the snake is her or if this could symbolize other females, because it's at the bottom and it's underneath the thoughts. And the thoughts symbolize, like I said earlier, it's weird that the thoughts are at the foundation, but because it's at the very bottom, it's something that she's mastered. She's gained control over her thoughts. Maybe beforehand, people were saying she was like some crazed fan. She was lurking in the background with Justin and Selena Gomez, and she was just waiting to snatch Justin Bieber. And now that she's snatched Justin Bieber, she's not letting Justin Bieber go. All true, yes, maybe. And that could all still, yes, maybe be in her, if that's all how you guys want to see it. And that could just be how it was. However, whatever that was in the past, it's been cut away. It's definitely something she's overcome. There is love. There is no insecurity. What was once unstable and was once on display for people to judge and critique, and for people to weigh on her mental, wondering about their love connection, because this concern, almost before I get back to those cards, this concern almost was like this community came in between her love and like her heart and her mind. Like how she felt emotionally and how she felt mentally was jumbled up. Like I said, we're on this loop-de-loop. Why is the thoughts at the bottom and the bottom should be at the top? It's kind of confusing and it's kind of scrambled up. But I feel like that's all because, and they're also young too at that. And because they are young and they are in the public's eye, definitely what the audience and the public have to say is going to influence you and get up in their mental. So she was being influenced by what people have to say about their connection. And yeah, maybe she can look back at those situations where maybe Justin Bieber was coming off a bit cold, or maybe she just didn't feel so loved, and people maybe echoing how she felt in those moments, or maybe she didn't feel that way. But when it was like, sad girl hours and she up at night thinking, she could have, especially with Justin Bieber out there on tour, if she was feeling that way, she was just like, man, maybe Justin really doesn't love me. Maybe he really is out there. Maybe he really is seeing other women, so maybe the whole, like, please, part one, this is part two. I also wanted to read on this, but a little bit, just maybe the whole fact that Justin Bieber, now that was like I said, them having a baby, that put a whole reset in their marriage, because he got the Ramsay Hunt syndrome and that put him home, so he couldn't be on tour. So they really got to be spend family time together, get to be around each other, really foster and really put in the foundation, because this was unstable. This wasn't anchored down, but the Lovers is at the bottom, so that is anchored down. And they were able to cut off the public in the sense, because this follows the Lovers. So whatever they cut off was for the sake of their love, because they needed it to anchor down. They needed to cut that off in order to anchor down on their relationship, and whatever they needed to cut off was this community, because in order to move forward now, because now that time's come, and now that push comes to shove, now it's time to be like, okay, Justin, it's time to go out there back in the public. Let's test the waters again. It's about time. If you spent enough time at home, I feel your love. I feel our connection. I definitely know you here for me and the baby. Our love is a gift. What's now on her thoughts is, she's in her receptive energy. She's in her motherly energy. She's in her divine feminine energy. And what does that mean? Being a supporter, being an encourager, filling the cups of other people. Justin Bieber has been home, and so they were working on them. And while they were working on them, they came to an agreement. Hey, let's have a child together. They have a child together. She gave birth, and now she's still in her mother energy. If she's in her mother energy, now she's looking at Justin Bieber. And even when they could have been having these conversations while she was pregnant. And now that the baby's here, now they spent time together, spent some, quality time, that paternal leave. They got to spend that together, and they got to be there with the few crucial months of their baby together. So because of that, she's just like, now I'm ready to focus on you, Justin. You focused on me, and now it's time for me to return the favor, return the gift, show my love, show you that I understand your needs, and I want to rekindle. Go back out there and work. You've been here. It's time to move forward. It's time. It's time to move forward. It's time for our relationship to take it to the next level. You're not always going to be a stay-home dad, and maybe I'm not always going to be a stay-home mom. So because of that, we got to start breaking the mold. We got to start breaking the baby out. We got to start breaking us out. So because of that, you go start back. You go first. You start working first. I've tamed those thoughts. I've tamed thinking that you're going to be out there cheating, thinking that you're going to be having women all over you, thinking that you maybe be into Sabrina Gomez or Sabrina Gomez. Yeah, Sabrina Gomez. Sabrina Gomez. Wow, Sabrina Carpenter. Because, Justin Bieber did just recently follow Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, I don't blame him, but all that to be said, hey, they're all attractive women. And like I said, if she was once insecure, she no longer is insecure. She's definitely healed that in time. And all I see in the future, even more into the future, is that she has wise thoughts. She is mature thinking now. She no longer is maybe childish or reactive, or reacts out of her heart because she's influenced by other people. She knows who she is. And now that she's a mother, she knows, in order to be a mother in order to be a good mother, you have to understand yourself and understand your weaknesses, and understand that you now have to be a role model, and now have to show to your child that anything can be done. You can overcome anything and overcome any boundaries. But in order to do that, you have to be able to understand and go deep within yourself. And if you're able to do that, especially if you're within your feminine energy, and really getting in tune with yourself, and maybe even having those mature thoughts and conversations, maybe she could be sharing her openly deep concerns that she has with Justin Bieber, and he's open and receptive to it. But now it's time to go back to toiling and laboring. Whether that be her, maybe he went first and she goes later, or maybe she's working in the background. But it's time whatever it is, the toiling and the labor is going to be for this family. It's going to be for the family unit, Hailey and Justin, but this is definitely on Hailey. Sorry to kind of blend it in with the Justin Bieber reading, but please do check that reading out. It was a very good, insightful reading that Mama Crone, Lady Crone had read on Justin Bieber. But Hailey Bieber is definitely taking the working in a you can work while also still being in your feminine energy. And how do you do that? Work because you want to work for your family. You want to work to support your family, provide for your family. I know those are all masculine traits, but how do you show up for your family as a woman? Well, in feminine energy, I'm not sure. I mean, I honestly have no experience. I'm just going based off of feminine energy and what astrology teaches me. About feminine receptive energy, to be in your feminine receptive energy, especially when you're in your Empress energy or your Venus energy, because you are in your Mother Nature, Mother Earth energy, because you have gave birth and you were um fertile. It brings on a different mentality in a sense, because now that you have a life to support, you have a life that you have to think about. Like, it's no longer just you, it's no longer just Hailey, it's no longer just Hailey and Justin Bieber, it's Hailey, Justin Bieber, and their child now. So because of that, she has to think differently. She has to be a bit more mature, especially if she wants a family unit and she wants a mom and a dad for her child to grow up with. So therefore, she really has to on work on a family unit, work on being mature, especially at their age. But also they're in their 30s. It's about time to really get that mature energy and settle down and really get into your life. Like this, the 30s is when you start settling down, getting into the ebbs and flows of your life, of how your 40s and 50s are going to go. But they are in their early 30s. It's not like they're in their late 30s. So they could still be like fresh bunnies. They could just I unironically meant that. Bunnies in the sense of the fact of being fertile, because rabbits, they mate, and they mate ferociously. And because of that, that's something you can also relate to the Empress in fertility. So because of that, and that represents feminine energy, so that could be also where she's taking the state of their relationship, because that's where she is, and she can also navigate the relationship. So because of that, when she's overflowing with this feminine energy and she wants this family to work, like I said, what's the next step that the family has to take? Justin, what do you have to do? What do I have to do? What do we have to do? It's never about the money. It's not that she wants to send him out there to go get money. It's not that she's going to go out there working for herself because it's for the money either. And it's not because they're doing it because they have a child and they need the money to support a third person. No, it's not that. The toiling and the labor is purely for the fact of putting in the time, the energy, manifesting, nurturing, putting the motherly energy into both her relationship with Justin Bieber, her marriage, and both with her relationship and her child, in both her relationship and her family unit. It takes two to make a marriage work. And her, from her feminine energy that she is embodying now that she is she was already a woman, but she's a woman now that she's given birth. So because of that, it's a new chapter, it's a new leaf, it's a new trajectory, it's a new mindset, it's a new hustle, it's a new drive, it's a new passion, it's new experiences. So because of all of that, she's feeling lucky. She's feeling creative. She's feeling inspired. She feels like, you know what, right now, everything that I think of, I can make happen. Anything that I want, I can make possible. I am that magician in that sense. And whatever I want, whatever I desire, whatever I want to manifest, or as a sense in this gift being material things, whatever I think of, I can materially create. Only in time, if I just don't allow myself to get into this negative energy, get back into the cycle. And if I don't allow myself to get back into that cycle, and I'm really mature and I've really conquered my thoughts like I said I have, and I've really grown past this and grown past the general audience and the general public influencing me, and I influence my own self. And I am my own influencer, my own voice, and my own narrator. What was once the past is now being rewritten in the future. It's almost like the phoenix in the sense, that rising from the ashes new again. That love is strong. We do have a foundation. And because of that, in time, I will be able to manifest the family, the marriage, the child, and the husband that I desire and that I want. That is how Hailey Bieber is feeling. That ultimate feminine energy of being like, I can literally create anything. I created a baby. There's nothing that can stop me now. Literally. So because of that, that's how she's feeling. But just like it takes 9 months for a baby to come, it's going to take some time for this new change, this new trajectory in their marriage to unfold and show itself. And it all depends on her being mature, being wise, wanting it to work, putting in the energy, putting in that feminine energy, and really having the mindset focused on the family, health. Everything is going to be foundation for her, and not lose sight or lose track of what's got her here and what's got her motivated in this very moment. Move forward. It's growing time. Like, this bridge really is that phoenix, because it gets you from point A to point B. The past was and she's moving on to a better, brighter future. So with that, this is what the bridge symbolizes. And now that we've gone around the loop-de-loop, the Ouroboros, we even see that it's not even a complete figure 8. So because of that, she's choosing to get off of the cycle, if we want to see it that way, because this snake, snakes represents feminine energy, and this represents a deceptive woman. However, if this is at the foundation and she's gotten over this deceptiveness, that could still show you that even though, like I said, that infinity loop that we're on, the loop-de-loop, it's not a complete full loop-de-loop, and it's almost like she's breaking the cycle, breaking the chains, but all within time, and it's all based off of the power that she has to manifest within her thoughts. I hope I drilled in her entire reading and made it more about her, even though I did take some time to talk about Justin Bieber and the past reading that Lady Crone has did. But hopefully you enjoyed this reading, and hopefully I drilled in on where Hailey Bieber's mindset is. And I was definitely surprised, and genuinely surprised with her reading as well. These two definitely have grown mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. They've grown together, and it is beautiful. And that's all we're going, and hopefully it's going to continue to gleam and beam like that in the future, because this is just beautiful. I'm glad they were able to not allow the public. I'm glad Hailey Bieber was not allowed to not allow what the public had to say about how their relationship looked and was playing out in the media. And even though relationships have their ups and their downs, she didn't allow those downs in the media to pile on those downs to her, to be like, you know what, you're right. Why be in this marriage? She stuck it through, and I'm glad to see that. And it looks like even in the future, she's going to continue to stick it out and stick it through. So she's Hailey Bieber. She's Mrs. Bieber for life. And I'm glad to see that. So hopefully with that, I hope you enjoyed this reading. And please subscribe if you had not subscribed already. It would really mean a lot to this channel. And please leave your comments down below. Tell me, did you enjoy this reading? And tell me, did you see Lady Crone's reading on Justin Bieber? And did this reading almost echo that, or maybe reinforced it, or that reading reinforced it? They go hand in hand. You tell me, am I the only one seeing the correlations? Well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Sunflowers! Sunflowers!